But his act born in silence, executed in fury, became more than revenge. It became a symbol.
Like starting YouTube, seeing like other YouTubers made it, or seeing people from my hood, or seeing rappers, or seeing whoever make it. It's like, yo, it's possible. So like that one person just like doing something that's different than the norm shows that, yo, it's possible, bro. And like I said, that's all it takes for a million other people to say, yo, it's possible. Let me go try to do it. Yo, it's your boy BJ from Brother in the Spot. We're about to watch Joseph Carter, the slave who his overseer from, I'm assuming that's his tree. Murder Files TV. Let's do it. I can't lie. I don't know what's been going on, but I've been watching mad race stuff lately. I think after that lady called me the hard R, it kind of turned me up a little bit. I don't know what it did to me, bro, but it made me started tapping into mad political stuff. Like I've been tapping into mad political stuff, mad race stuff. Like I've been learning so much stuff in the past couple weeks, bro. Just about life, about like people and just religion and all type of stuff, bro. I've been locked in. And it's like I've been watching people that just teach. I don't know what it is, bro. Maybe it's me turning 27. I'm seeking more information about things I never sought out information about. But I've been watching mad political race stuff, bro. I don't know what's going on in my brain, bro. Maybe I'm trying to realize what's really going on out here or something. I don't know.
La massacre, definitely.
Bro. Africa, I think West
The 4th
Africa.
of July, 1000.
I think he said, if you're from West Africa, you're black. But if you're from Sudan, you're not classified as black. Like, they classify like people that's from like West Africa. I think was it West Africa? Where's it from? I think it was like, it was something, but it was like West Africa. He said that if you're from West Africa, you're like, if your lineage is from Africa, West Africa, that means you're black. If you're from like Sudan, up there in Africa, you're not black. You're just African. I'm like, bro, what? I thought everybody was black. He said no, like, when you're like this specific region of Africa is classified as black. The other niggas is just African. I'm thinking everybody black. He said, nah, bro. Everybody not black. Like, everybody's not, the word black didn't derive from these set of people. Like, it's from the West Africans is where the black shit came from. The other niggas is not black. They just African. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that. I'm thinking everybody black. Like, once you black, you black. Nigga said, nah, nigga, that's not even true. Look it up. I'm like, wow. So I'm just learning stuff about race and like just about being black. That lady called me the hard R, changed my life. Now I'm locked in to learn what's going on with my race. It's crazy.
1856. While America celebrated freedom with fireworks and speeches, a different scene unfolded on a Georgia plantation. Beneath an ancient oak tree, a man in rags tightened a rope with calloused hands. His name was Joseph Carter, a slave who had no freedom to celebrate. In the silence of midnight, he turned the nation's proudest holiday into a trial of blood. The overseer who once cracked the whip now gasped for air under the same sky that proclaimed liberty. On Independence Day, freedom spoke not through words, but through the noose of a man who had none. Joseph Carter was born in chains. His first cries rose not in a cradle, but in a wooden shack, where air smelled of sweat, ash, and sorrow. His mother sang lullabies to drown the crack of the overseer's whip, but even her voice carried a tremor of fear. Childhood.
I'm not gonna lie, yo, it's kind of so crazy, bro. Like, it's kind of so crazy. Like, when you really learn about like race and like white supremacy, like all this stuff, like you really realize that, like, yo, some people that are white are really evil, bro. Like, you got, I'm not saying everybody, but like some of them niggas is evil, bro. Like, evil, bro. Like, real life evil, bro. Like, you not even human the way they evil. Like, it's no you can be human and be that evil, bro. Have slaves, bro, and be beating them and all wording and taking advantage of them, like, sexually, bro. Because they black. Like, that's your only reason, bro. They ain't do nothing to you, bro. That's just because you just want to conquer. Like, that's real life sick in the head, bro. And that's why they be going. That's why when you look up all the statistics of like assault and like, they make up a lot of that. Like, they think it's only us, the black people that do that. Nah, they do it a lot too, bro. Like, a lot of time is really they do a little more, but they just only shed the light on us to make us seem so bad. Like, I even learned like smoking weed. Like, bro, do you know that white people and black people smoke the same amount of weed? Like, it's like the percentage is so small, like the difference. And when you think about it, there's actually less smokers that smoke weed, averaged, and like I think it's like 40%, like 40% of people that smoke weed, that's black. It's like that's like half. That's like literally less than. That's like literally less than a quarter. That's like literally. It's literally like nothing. That's like not. That's nothing about probably black people, bro. It's so crazy. We start looking stuff up, and like looking at race, and it's like, damn, like they just be making up. They just be lying, bro. Bro, they just literally just lie. They just lie, like straight, bold-faced lie, and we don't even look it up. Like, we just be like, okay, whatever they say. Nah, like when you start looking stuff up, like and chat GBT and stuff, bro. Like, you can learn a lot, bro. I watched this nigga called Young Da. Young Da Reacts. He's right now he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He even inspired me to start doing reactions again. He's a genius. He's so smart, bro. Like, he's so smart, bro. Shout out Young Da, bro. I'm gonna meet him one day, bro. I gotta talk to him. Like, I love that nigga, bro. Like, he's so smart, bro. And he just speak on like, he's like, bro, I love that nigga, bro. Not gonna lie. He helped me out a lot in the past month. Or just like just guiding, just the way he speak about things and what I learned from that nigga, bro.
Joseph was measured not in toys or lessons, but in calluses on tiny hands and the ache of hunger in an empty stomach. The plantation was a divided world. The big house glowed with chandeliers, silver cutlery, and silk gowns. Just beyond, the slave quarters sagged under leaking roofs, dirt floors, and hunger. The contrast shaped Joseph's vision. He learned early that silence kept you alive, that to watch without speaking was safer than to dream out loud. Yet there were fragments of beauty. At dusk, when work ended, his mother traced stars with her finger and whispered stories of ancestors stolen from far lands. The old oak tree on the edge of the fields became his secret companion. Its branches stretched wide like open arms, a cathedral without walls. Beneath it, Joseph felt a fleeting freedom, a breath of air not owned by masters. He grew.
I know. I'm not gonna lie. You know, this shit might sound a little crazy though. Like since I it's kind of crazy. Like, I know I'm black and shit, right? But like, I feel like now, like as I mature, like I really feel like I'm connected to my people. Like, I really feel like nah, like I'm a black nigga. Like, I am a black man. Like I am who I am. Like for real. Like, I really feel like that now. Like. It's so weird, bro. Like I really feel like I have to prove something. Like, not prove something, but like I gotta help my niggas. Like, I gotta be the nigga with the good brain. Like, to spread messages, to spread the right message. Like, yo, take care of your kids, be there for your family, be strong, you know, be smart. You know, learn how to control your vices. Like, learn how to like be a good man overall. Like, I feel like it's my duty to teach niggas this shit, bro. Cause nobody taught me this shit, bro. I learned shit by myself. And like, just be able to put content out there and people could listen to it and hear it and digest it and take it in and be inspired from it, bro. Like, bro, this shit make me want to cry, bro. Like, for real, like, this shit make me want to cry, cause like, bro, the shit that niggas really go through, bro, and have to deal with every day. Like, not even every day, but like, just like deal with from 400 plus years ago to our whole entire life from we know it. Like, just been straight like negativity, like. Not negativity, but I mean like even our own people portray us so negative, bro. Like, our own people portray us so negative. Like, the whole world looks down upon us and portray us as these negative human beings, these negative people, when we are not even that negative, bro. We're not even that bad, bro. When you look up these statistics, bro, we're not even as bad as the white niggas, bro. We're just the ones that the freaking the light is shined on, bro. And then you wait, like, bro, that's why you gotta teach niggas, bro. Like, that's what you gotta make sure niggas know, like, bro, we not know, we way better than that, bro. Cause we way better than this some we're just dancing, we just rap and hip hop and we just smoke, and that's not, no, bro. We way better than that, bro. Way better than that, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
Tall and strong,
I'm on a
but
tangent, bro.
inwardly
I'm sorry.
quiet. He learned the rhythm of tools, the crack of an axe against wood, the pull of a rope, the grind of stone. Each sound became part of his memory, part of a skill that would one day serve another purpose. Others laughed or sang, but Joseph observed. His eyes held storms that words could not name. To be a slave was to be invisible, and yet, beneath that invisibility, Joseph was storing something powerful. Every bruise became a lesson, every humiliation, a memory etched deep. Every night beneath the oak, he whispered the same silent vow. One day, something would break. One day, silence would turn to fire. Hope arrived quietly, like spring rain. Her name...
It's really so crazy that people really had to go through this, bro. Like, they really had to sit there, bro, and go through this, bro. Crazy.
Her name was Elsie, a fellow slave. Her laughter was rare but radiant, and for Joseph it was enough to pierce the gloom. In stolen moments, a glance across the fields, a whispered word while carrying buckets.
And that's why I would never in my life not date a black girl. I would never in my life not have a fucking black family, bro. Never in my life, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I would never hate black women, bro. Never, bro. Never. Never. I don't care if they how much they cheat on me, how much they do this, how much they whatever they want to say back so bad about them. I would never in my life turn my back on black women, bro. Never in my life, nigga. I don't care how much I gotta deal with them. I'll deal them till I'm dead. I'll deal them till I'm dead. I'll never turn back on them. I'll deal with them and heal them and help them and love them and deal with their problems and help them fix it and get over there and marry one. Never will I ever not marry a black woman. You niggas is crazy, bro. Marrying, well, y'all niggas is dumb, bro. Y'all see what these niggas be doing to us, bro? Y'all want to marry white people, bro? Nah, I'm not. I'm all right. My fault, child. Do what you want. I'm sorry. Let me not get too deep into it. Live your life, brother. For me, though, and what I believe in, we going black. If you want to marry white, bro, do your thing, bro. If you want to marry outside your race, bro, as long as y'all happy, bro, do your thing, bro. I don't want to be the type of nigga, bro. I'm not. That's not who I am as a whole. Do your thing. I'm not a judger. Do your thing, bro. If you're happy, do your thing. But for me, black, or I don't care if she the lightest of skin or brown. Well, as long as she black or she Caribbean and she got something in her, it's getting done.
They built a fragile
from the
dream.
lightest to the darkest.
They spoke
nigga,
of freedom.
all black. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Saving
I'm going too
coins,
deep.
of a life beyond
Watch the video.
fences. For the first time, Joseph believed waiting might be worth it. Then came the overseer. Asa Whitlock, with his false piety and iron hand, saw Elsie not as a human, but as possession. One night, her cries pierced the quarters. By morning, she was gone, sold south, traded like livestock. No goodbye, no promise kept, only absence, heavy as death. The dream collapsed. Joseph searched the oak tree for comfort, but its shade felt colder than before. He remembered Elsie's voice, how she once said, "Patience, Joseph. Freedom will come." But freedom never came. Instead came betrayal, violence, and the brutal lesson that waiting meant losing everything. His heart changed shape. Where hope once lived, fury began to grow. The rope he used daily for hauling logs now looked like a weapon. The axe he swung to split wood became an extension of his will. Even silence, once his shield, sharpened into a blade of intent. Joseph realized something with terrible clarity. No man would hand him freedom. No master would grant it. If freedom was to exist, it would be carved with his own hands.
Exactly. Nobody here to save you, bro. Nobody here to give you nothing. Fight! Fight! Every day. Fight for what you want, bro. Fight. I know it's hard. Fight. Don't let these niggas win, bro. Don't let these niggas win, bro.
Claimed with his own blood. From that night forward, every step carried a hidden fire.
And when I say niggas, I'm not talking about like people. I'm talking about spiritual entities, anybody. Just don't let them win. You know what you believe in. You know what you stand on. I know when shit get tough, you always stay strong, my nigga. Stay strong. Don't let these niggas win.
He did his tasks, he bowed his head, he obeyed the shouts. But beneath the mask of submission, a vow burned. Asa Whitlock would pay. Those who profited from pain would answer. And when that day came, it would not be whispered. It would be thunder under the oak tree. Preparation began not with shouts, but with silence. Joseph watched. He studied the overseer's footsteps, the rhythm of his patrol, the way Asa Whitlock paused before meals and where he kept his keys. He noticed the drunkard's stumble, the younger master's late-night wanderings, the small cracks in their fortress of power. Knowledge became his weapon. Every task was a rehearsal. Splitting logs hardened his grip.
Knowledge is power. And knowledge will always be power. Knowledge is damn near better than physical power. I would say it is, for real. Because if somebody can outsmart you, I could be bigger than you. But if you know how to fight, that's knowledge, bro. I can't beat you up. No matter how big and strong I am, if you mentally know how to fight, like just off IQ, like I know how to throw my hands in no angles, you're going to win, no matter how big a nigga is. Knowledge is always power. Knowledge will always win over anything. Once you're smart, nobody can beat you, bro.
Grip. Tying bundles of rope sharpened his sense of knots. Sharpening tools at the grindstone taught him patience, the slow birth of an edge capable of cutting more than wood. Each act of labor, imposed by others, became practice for the day he would impose his own justice. The oak tree stood as his confidant. By day, it was shade from the burning Sunday. By night, it was the silent witness of his vow. He tested ropes there, feeling their tension, listening to the fibers strain. The wind through the branches whispered possibilities. The tree, older than masters and slaves alike, seemed to lean toward him as if waiting for the moment when its limbs would serve a different kind of harvest. Joseph said nothing. To speak was danger, so he moved with masks, obedient eyes, bowed head, steady hands. Yet under that mask lived a pulse that refused to slow. His heart drummed with a rhythm no overseer could hear. Others sensed a change. Some whispered that Joseph carried storms in his silence. Children avoided his gaze. The old prayed for him in secret, afraid of what fire might come, but no one spoke aloud. In the quarters, silence was survival. And so Joseph prepared not with plans written on paper, but with breath, muscle, and memory. Each day fed the hunger. Each night deepened the oath. The overseer believed control was eternal. Joseph knew eternity could end with one rope, one moment, one...
That's a fact. Shit, I should get end that fast. One bullet, one punch, one mistake, and yeah, shit, just your lights is out. You're done for. Okay.
One strike in the dark. Asa Whitlock wore cruelty like a second skin. By day, he quoted scripture, pretending to be a man of order. By night, he prowled the quarters, taking what he wanted. His hands carried both the Bible and the whip, each tool twisted into an instrument of fear. To the masters, he was loyal. To the slaves, he was terror itself. He was not alone. A young master, barely a man, but already swollen with arrogance, haunted the fields with lustful...
Use the Bible to keep people in check, and use the whip. They use the Bible to keep you in check mentally. And it's not a religious battle. I'm not saying nothing wrong with Christianity. I'm just saying what they did. They used the religion to keep you stuck, to keep you under control mentally in their control, way of controlling. They used the whip to keep you in control physically. They use fear and knowledge to win, literally.
Eyes. He treated enslaved women as if they were offerings for his boredom. Behind him trailed laughter, the kind that left scars deeper than lashes. And then there was the drunken overseer, a brute with more rage than thought. His whip cracked not to enforce labor, but to remind bodies they belonged to him. He struck whether the row was straight or crooked, whether the bucket was full or half empty. Drink fueled his arm, but cruelty fueled his grin. Together, these men formed a trinity of oppression, greed, violence, hypocrisy. They built a wall around Joseph's life, one stone of humiliation at a time. Every order barked, every lash delivered, every night of stolen dignity, all of it pressed like a weight on his chest. The oak tree saw it all. It watched as Asa struck an old man too weak to lift cotton. It heard the cries of women dragged in the dark. It stood through nights when the overseer's lantern flickered across the shacks like a predator's eye. For Joseph, each act of cruelty was no longer just pain. It was evidence, a list etched into his bones. He named them silently under his breath. Asa, the false saint. The young master, the predator, the drunk, the beast. Their sins were heavy, and he would become their reckoning.
Asa.
They thought themselves untouchable. They believed law and whip would guard them. But power...
Did he call him Asa and not Masa? Because he's calling Massa. Is like he taking an M and calling them Asa. That's what he's doing.
Joseph knew was a mask, and masks can be torn away. The oak tree waited. Joseph waited with it. The day was coming when the overseer's scripture, the master's lust, and the drunkard's whip would meet the same fate judgment beneath the branches of the tree that had watched in silence too long. The night was heavy. Heat lingered in the air, thick and breathless. Crickets fell silent, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Joseph moved like a shadow, rope coiled at his waist, axe in hand. The oak tree loomed above, its branches etched against the moonlight. He had chosen the weakest link, the drunk overseer, a man who staggered through nights, bottle in one hand, whip in the other. His cruelty was constant, but his guard was low. He believed fear would always protect him. He was wrong. The attack came swift, no warning, no speech. The axe fell, not upon flesh described in gore, but in a rhythm, wood splintering, rope snapping, silence tearing. In the dark, the overseer's grunt became a broken note, swallowed by the night. Joseph stood still afterward, heart pounding, breath ragged. His hands trembled, not with regret, but with the raw weight of what had begun. The first strike was always the hardest. The path forward had no return. Blood was not painted in...
That's like once you break that barrier down, like it's always, like I say, it's always hard to say to start. Starting is the hardest part, but once you start and you get that flow, it becomes easy. So if it's your first time doing something, starting is gonna be the hardest part. But once you start that much shit, that shit gets way easier as you continue doing it.
Detail.
For him, it was doing what he did, and now it became a little easier because he already felt the feeling of like, oh wow, I did it. Okay, what's next?
Instead, it lived in symbols, a dark stain spreading across the dirt like ink on an unpaid ledger. A man reduced not to screams, but to silence. The overseer who had cracked the whip now lay as motionless as the cotton he once demanded. Joseph whispered a name, the first on his list, the beginning of his judgment. Then he walked back beneath the oak, rope brushing his leg. The tree seemed to bow its branches lower, as if recognizing what had started. This was not murder, he told himself. This was a trial. The first verdict had been delivered. After the first strike, fear turned to momentum. Joseph no longer hesitated. Each step was ritual, each act a continuation of the vow.
I told ya, once he made that first move, like he said, once that first strike was hit, he was like, oh yeah, this is way easier now. I already did the hard part.
He had carried for years. The plantation became a stage, the night his curtain, the oak tree his altar. The second man fell soon after, the young master, arrogant, careless, blinded by lust. Joseph cornered him not with screams, but with silence. He spoke the man's name aloud before tightening the rope. One word, sharp and heavy, echoing through the dark like a sentence pronounced in court. The boy's laughter died in his throat, choked by the weight of justice he never believed could touch him. Then came the third, Asa Whitlock's ally, another brute who fed on violence. His whip cracked even as Joseph approached, but this time, the whip met rope. The struggle was brief, brutal, and final. Joseph's arms burned, his chest heaved, but his will did not falter. Again, he whispered the name. Again, the night received it like scripture rewritten in blood. Each act was faster than the last, not sloppy, but relentless. Joseph transformed vengeance into ceremony. He was no longer simply striking down enemies, he was enacting a judgment. The oak tree became more than wood and leaves. It was the gallows of retribution. The witnesses were shadows, stars, and silence. The slaves in their quarters woke to whispers, muffled sounds carried by the wind. Some prayed, some wept, others dared to smile through their terror. For once, it was not their kin dragged into darkness. For once, fear changed direction. Joseph's body moved like a machine, honed by years of toil, but his eyes burned with something unearthly. He was no longer the boy who watched in silence. He was the executioner in rags, binding cruelty to its end, one rope at a time. By dawn, the trinity of oppression had been broken, but one name remained: Asa Whitlock, the false saint, the man who had taken Elsie, stolen Joseph's hope, and carved pain into his soul. The oak tree creaked in the night wind, its branches stretched wide, waiting. The stage was set for the final confrontation. The night was still. Joseph
It's crazy that still to this day people are getting literally still doing that. Still getting H word from trees. Still in them trees. Still somehow they getting H word from trees. 400 years later, they still with the rope in the trees with black niggas, bro. Shit crazy.
Joseph stood beneath the oak tree, rope in hand. His body ached from struggle, but his eyes burned steady. The air smelled of pine, sweat, and smoke from distant torches. It was the hour he had carried in his chest for years. Asa Whitlock appeared like a shadow breaking from the dark. He was not drunk. He was not unguarded. He came with the confidence of a man who believed himself immortal. Bible tucked under one arm, pistol at his hip, a sneer fixed across his
My son
lips.
got a pistol now?
So it was you, Asa said. His voice was calm, too calm, like a man lecturing a child. You think you can judge me? You think you are more than what chains have made you? Joseph did not answer. Words had no power anymore. Only the rope spoke for him. He uncoiled it slowly, the fibers whispering
Yeah, I'm
against
not
the
gonna lie.
ground.
I realized that too. Like sometimes in life, like sometimes words don't like you can't. There's no more you can do with words. You just have to do actions. Like there's points in your life where words just stop working. You explaining yourself, you apologizing, you trying to talk things out, you trying to work things out. And sometimes all your efforts with your words don't work until you punch somebody in the face, or until you stop talking to somebody, or until you block somebody, or until you just leave somebody alone. That's when stuff start making sense. But before, it's just like I'm talking too much, and a lot of the time you're just talking too much. You just gotta start putting BTA, literally, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally. Just gotta start. You feel me? Something gotta give. The words not working no more.
Ground. The insects were silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. The oak tree stretched its limbs, a silent witness, as though bending closer to see. Asa drew his pistol, raising it high. His hand did not tremble. He was the master here. The law, the whip, the word of God all claimed to be his. Kneel, he ordered. Joseph stepped forward. No bow, no plea, just steps. Each one
Asa got the gun on Joseph. Okay.
firm, each one echoing in the dirt like a drumbeat. The two men met in the clearing of moonlight, slave and overseer, victim and tyrant, judge and condemned. The pistol fired, the sound split the night, but the shot missed, grazing only bark. Joseph lunged, his hands, hardened by years of labor, closed around Asa's wrist. The pistol clattered to the ground.
Yeah.
The two bodies collided, crashing like storm waves. Struggle, breath against breath, fists against flesh, Joseph's strength against Asa's fury. The rope found its way, coiling, circling, tightening. Asa cursed, spit, thrashed. But Joseph's arms did not falter. His silence was heavier than any shout. When the rope tightened fully, Asa's eyes widened. For the first time, the overseer looked afraid. The scripture he carried, the law he preached, none of it could save him. Under the branches of the oak, judgment had come. Joseph whispered a name, not Asa's, but Elsie's. It was her ghost that guided his hands, her absence that had carved this moment into existence. The overseer's body jerked.
And
then
this also shows you how much control a good woman can have over a man, even a bad woman. Like a woman can make men have. He was just a regular person, bro, regular slave. And it's like once they took Elsie away, he just got all this strength because he loved Elsie so much, bro. And that's what a woman, a black woman, can do to you. They can lift you to heights, unforeseen heights. They can pick you up from the lowest of lows of lows. And it don't even got to be an intimate relationship. It could be an older woman, your auntie, your uncle, your freaking grandma, your girl. It could be anybody, bro. But they can lift you to heights or give you confidence you never had before, bro. And that's why it's always good to have a good woman in your life, whether it's a friend, family, or a girl, bro. Very important, cause they could do stuff for you that you can't do for yourself, and that's all this mentally. From what they just teach you and tell you and pour into you, or just the love and respect you have for them could just he want to get up and say, yo, I'm doing this. I'm being better. I got to take care of my family. You feel me?
Slowed, the rope groaned, the oak tree creaked. Justice, crude and raw, was complete. For the first time in his life, Joseph Carter was not silent. He looked up at the stars and let out a sound, not a laugh, not a sob, but something in between, a release, sharp.
Nigga said, Nigga let out a big, dirty, nasty scream. Let out mad pain and all that pain he had held in from being silent. Let all that shit out.
Sharp and broken, dawn revealed what the night had hidden. The plantation woke to chaos. Bodies hung limp from branches, swaying like broken fruit. The air was thick with murmurs, cries, the rustle of frightened footsteps. The masters shouted, the slaves whispered. The oak tree stood heavy with its burden, a monument carved not of stone, but of flesh and rope. Joseph was found at its base, rope still in his hands. His face was calm, his eyes distant, as though fixed on something far beyond the plantation. He did not run, he did not beg, he waited. They dragged him to the county jail. Chains clinked against his wrists, heavier than any he had worn before. Crowds gathered, eager to see the man who had shattered order. Some spat, some stared. A few lowered their eyes, unwilling to look directly at the defiance in his face. The trial was swift. It was no trial at all. The verdict was known before the judge opened his mouth.
What did you have you eaten sap from me without working on anything, listen to music? This is based on Joseph Carter. I think his name was Joseph Carter. I don't see what she said, bro. Damn. I mean, yeah. I think I definitely sat, without doing nothing. Took some time, yeah. Yeah, I did something a little bit today, but
Guilty,
for the most part of the
death.
day, Janie, I work out. I sit for a little bit after I eat, like 10, 20 minutes. I watch a video, and I come back, take a shower, I come back to work. No, not really, but when I go lay down, I'm gonna take some little bit of, I guess, some time to myself.
By hanging.
I'm off tomorrow.
The irony
so
was cruel. The executioner in rags would himself be executed by rope. Through it all, Joseph remained silent. His silence unnerved them more than screams would have. He refused to curse. He refused to plead. He refused to give them the satisfaction of fear. On the morning of
I'm not trying to hear what?
his execution, they led him to the gallows. The crowd was restless. Children perched on shoulders. Women clutched shawls. Men muttered about justice, about order, about punishment. Joseph looked beyond them all. His gaze was steady, almost serene. The noose dangled above. The hangman adjusted the knot. The rope creaked. Joseph's hands did not shake. When asked for last words, he finally spoke. His voice was quiet, but it carried. Justice hangs higher than kings. The trapdoor fell. The rope snapped taut. Joseph's body swung in the morning light, framed by the sky he had once
They executed him in front of everybody? Damn.
stared at as a boy under the oak. The crowd gasped, then fell into silence. For a moment, it seemed as if even the wind paused. What hung there was not merely a man, but a question, a shadow across the nation's celebration of freedom. The overseers were gone, the oak tree still stood, and Joseph Carter, the slave who became the executioner in rags, was gone too, but not forgotten. His death was a punishment. His silence, however, was a message. The oak tree remained. Its branches still reached toward the sky, but now they carried a memory that could not be erased. 3 overseers and a young master had fallen beneath its shadow. Asa Whitlock had swung from its limbs, gasping his last where he once commanded obedience. For days, the sight haunted the plantation. The masters moved quickly. They spoke of rebellion, of chaos, of punishment. They turned Joseph's act into a warning. This is what happens when order is broken. The gallows in town became their theater of control. His body hung.
Yeah, and like I said, they still using the fear tactic. Like, okay, you want to act out? Boom, this will happen to you. Like, they still using fear to still win. Even though somebody still did what they had to do, they're like, okay, you know what? You want to act out? I'm like, all of y'all watch and see this. You want to act out again? This is what happened to you. Still using that fear to control them. But facts, Jeannie. I definitely got it. Tomorrow I'm chilling though. Tomorrow I'm gonna chill until late. I'm gonna take some time to myself tomorrow because I do have these past couple weeks I've been straight just reacting, going to work and coming home and shit. I do need a little break though.
To honor justice, but to remind others of fear. Yet fear did not spread the way they hoped. In the slave quarters, silence turned into whispers, whispers into stories, stories into embers. Men and women who had bowed their heads now lifted their eyes, if only for a second. For once, they had seen a man who struck back.
Especially in those times where everybody's just going with it. Like, it takes one person to start a revolution, bro. One person, bro. Because once one person do something different that everybody know what I used to, then I'm like, oh, wait, it's possible? All right, copy. Now I'm going to try to. One person, bro. One person. To inspire the masses.
The slaves did not cheer openly. They could not. But at night, when the fields lay empty and the air carried only the sound of insects, some knelt under the oak tree and traced Joseph's name into the dirt. Others whispered Elsie's name, as if to remember not just vengeance, but love stolen too soon. The overseers were replaced. New whips cracked. New masters preached order. But shadows lingered. Every time a rope was coiled, the story of Joseph Carter flickered in memory. Every time a hymn rose at dusk, his name drifted between verses. For the masters, it was a tragedy. For the slaves, it was a prophecy. Joseph's death proved two truths at once, that resistance demanded a terrible price, and that resistance was possible. Children grew hearing fragments.
That's a fact. Basically, like, yo, like, yeah, like, if you do go against what is the norm, bad stuff can happen to you. But the fact that you now know you can go against the norm, it's up because now you know it's possible. Now you know you could do it. He could do it. She could do it. Not it's crazy because that one man probably sparked so much other people to just like act out and do other things and just try to escape.
Of the tale, the man in rags, they called him. Some feared the story, others held it like a shield. Either way, it lived. The oak tree did not forget, and neither did those who walked beneath its branches. Time moved on. Years turned into decades. The Civil War came, and slavery was broken by blood on battlefields. New laws were written, new chains removed, but old wounds remained. The story of Joseph Carter was never carved into stone or printed in textbooks. Yet it survived. It lived in whispers, in songs hummed at night, in sermons where preachers spoke of justice, though they never said his name. Among the descendants of slaves, his memory was not history, but fire. They passed it down as a caution, as a prayer, as a reminder that even the silent can roar. Joseph Carter never wore a crown. He never stood in a court of law. He never tasted freedom in the way others would decades later. But his act born in silence, executed in fury, became more than revenge. It became a symbol. Symbols are dangerous. They move across time. It became a
symbol that it's possible. It became a symbol that it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. For me, like, starting YouTube, seeing like other YouTubers made it, or seeing people from my hood, or seeing rappers, or seeing whoever make it, it's like, yo, it's possible. So like that one person just like doing something that's different than the norm shows that, yo, it's possible, bro. And like I said, that's all it takes for a million other people to say, yo, it's possible. Let me go try to do it. Let me go figure it out. Let me go help people this way too, because it's possible, bro. Nothing's impossible, bro. All this shit is very possible, bro.
They outlive bodies. The masters tried to bury him with chains, with gallows, with silence. But silence is not absence. Silence is memory held close. Generations later, the oak tree still stood, weathered, scarred, but rooted. Travelers who passed sometimes felt a chill beneath its limbs, as if hearing the echo of rope creaking in the wind. The tree carried two truths, that it once bore injustice and that it once bore judgment. Reflection lingers here. What is justice? Is it written by courts or carved by hands calloused from chains? Is it the voice of kings or the silence of a man who refused to kneel? Joseph Carter died in rags, but rags can clothe dignity. He died as a slave, yet in his last act, he was freer than those who owned him. His story asks us to look closer at the contradiction of freedom celebrated by some while denied to others, at the cost of silence, at the power of a single voice, even when it speaks only through rope and shadow. The executioner in rags has long gone to dust, but his question remains, and it hangs higher than kings.
Damn. Damn, that was a deep right there. That was a good video right there. Wow, that was amazing, bro. Shout out my nigga Joseph Carter, man. That was amazing. I'm not gonna lie, that was amazing. Like, that was a good video. I really enjoyed that. Wow. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'm out the spot scheming.